Every year, the average American household spends over $2,000 on things they don't need. That's $2,000 that could go toward experiences, savings, or investments, but instead it's spent on items that end up collecting dust. Did you know that 80% of the items in our closets go unworn for months at a time? Yet, we keep buying more. Overconsumption has become a way of life, and it's costing us, not just money, but also our happiness and the planet. In this video, we'll dive into the hidden reasons behind why we buy so much and how we can break free from this cycle. From the tricks that marketers use to our own emotional triggers, we'll uncover what drives our constant desire to consume. But don't worry, we're not just talking about the problem. We'll give you real, actionable strategies to start making smarter, more sustainable choices today. Ready to take control of your spending habits and live a more intentional life? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Endless Choices. Breaking free from consumerism's spell. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of choices you have while shopping? Today's stores, both physical and online, seem to offer endless options. But here's the truth: more choices don't always lead to better decisions. In fact, they often lead to confusion, and the more confused we are, the more likely we are to buy. This is called choice overload. According to a study from the University of California, when people are faced with too many options, they're less likely to make a purchase at all. But when they're given a smaller, more manageable selection, they make quicker and more confident decisions. The key here is recognizing that less is often more. When we simplify our choices, we make better decisions. You can start by decluttering your shopping environment. For example, when shopping online, limit your options by using filters like price or ratings. This small step can make a big difference. Even in physical stores, stick to a shopping list and avoid wandering through aisles of temptation. Another tip is to ask yourself one question before making a purchase: do I really need this, or am I just attracted to the novelty of it? Ultimately, this strategy isn't about restricting your freedom. It's about empowering yourself to make decisions based on what truly matters, not on what's flashy or trendy. Chapter 2: Emotional Shopping. How to rewire your brain's love for instant gratification. Let's be real. Retail therapy is a thing, and it's deeply rooted in our brains. When we buy something new, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. This little burst of happiness is often enough to trigger more purchases, especially when we're stressed or upset. But the problem is, this high is temporary, and over time, it leaves us craving more. A study from the University of Michigan found that people are more likely to buy impulsively when they are in a bad mood or feeling anxious. So, how do we break this cycle? The first step is to recognize when you're buying for emotional reasons. Before clicking that "Buy Now" button or grabbing something off the shelf, pause. Ask yourself, am I buying this to make myself feel better, or is this something I genuinely need? If it's the former, try to find another way to cope. Maybe take a walk, call a friend, or practice some deep breathing exercises. Another useful strategy is delaying gratification. If you really want something, wait 24 hours before buying it. Studies show that this small delay can significantly reduce impulse purchases. Additionally, practicing mindfulness can help. Mindfulness teaches us to become aware of our emotions and impulses without acting on them. By creating space between the emotion and the action, we regain control over our buying habits. Chapter 3: The Minimalist Mindset. Cultivating value over volume. You've probably heard of minimalism, but have you ever thought of it as a mindset rather than just a lifestyle? Minimalism isn't just about having fewer things, it's about prioritizing the things that truly add value to your life. According to Joshua Becker, author of The More of Less, minimalism is the intentional promotion of the things we most value and the removal of everything that distracts us from it. This shift in thinking helps us focus on quality over quantity. Start by identifying the items in your life that bring the most value. These could be anything from experiences to relationships to physical possessions. Once you've identified what truly matters, it becomes easier to say no to anything that doesn't align with your values. A helpful strategy here is to ask yourself, will this item contribute to my happiness or well-being in the long term? If the answer is no, it's probably not worth buying. Decluttering your home is a great first step in adopting a minimalist mindset. Not only does it create a more peaceful living space, but it also encourages you to be intentional about new purchases. A 2019 study by the National Institute of Health found that people with less clutter in their homes report lower stress levels and higher life satisfaction. Another powerful strategy is to focus on experiences rather than things. According to a 2014 study published in Psychological Science, people are happier when they spend money on experiences, like traveling or going to concerts, rather than material goods. These experiences often create lasting memories, which tend to bring more joy than anything we can buy. In the end, a minimalist mindset doesn't just reduce consumption, it leads to greater contentment and deeper connections to the things that truly matter. By slowing down and making intentional choices, we can break free from the cycle of overconsumption. Don't forget to subscribe if you're finding these strategies helpful so far. We've got even more tips coming up to help you live a more intentional, sustainable life. Chapter 4: Social Media and FOMO. How digital influences drive our spending habits. We all know the feeling of scrolling through Instagram or TikTok and seeing someone else's new outfit, fancy gadget, or latest purchase. This is where FOMO, fear of missing out, comes in. Social media is designed to show us what everyone else is buying, making us feel like we need the same things to keep up. A 2020 study by the University of Pennsylvania found that heavy social media use is directly linked to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety, which can fuel unnecessary spending. So, how do we escape this trap? One strategy is to curate your digital environment. Follow accounts that promote minimalism, sustainability, or financial literacy, and unfollow those that encourage mindless consumption. This small change can help shift your mindset and reduce the urge to buy things you don't need. Another powerful tool is turning off notifications. Every time your phone buzzes, it's tempting to check your social media accounts. By removing these constant reminders, you allow yourself to live in the moment and avoid impulsively buying something just because it's trending. If you feel like you're constantly comparing yourself to others online, take a break. Studies show that taking even a short break from social media can reduce feelings of anxiety and lower your desire to keep up with others. Setting time limits on your social media apps can also help you regain control of your time and, ultimately, your spending habits. Chapter 5: Sustainable Alternatives. How to shop smart without sacrificing quality. Shopping sustainably doesn't mean sacrificing quality, style, or convenience. It just means being more mindful about where and how you spend your money. According to a report by Nielsen, 73% of global consumers are willing to pay more for sustainable products. This proves that consumers are increasingly aware of the environmental impact of their purchases and are choosing brands that prioritize sustainability. Start by making small switches. For instance, buy fewer but better quality clothes. Fast fashion is cheap, but it's also a major contributor to waste and environmental harm. Opting for timeless pieces made from sustainable materials, like organic cotton or bamboo, can make a huge difference. Additionally, buying second-hand clothes is a fantastic way to reduce your carbon footprint without compromising on style. When it comes to food, choose local and organic options. According to a 2017 study published in Environmental Science and Technology, eating plant-based foods has a significantly lower environmental impact than a meat-heavy diet. By supporting local farmers and opting for foods with less packaging, you're not just eating healthier, you're also making a positive impact on the environment. Another strategy for sustainable shopping is to invest in items that are durable and repairable. For example, instead of buying a new phone every year, consider repairing the one you have. This will reduce e-waste and save you money in the long run. Many brands now offer repair services or sell parts, making it easier to extend the life of your products. Chapter 6: The Power of No. Developing a healthy relationship with buying. The most empowering word in the world of sustainable living? No. Saying no to purchases you don't need can feel liberating. According to financial expert Dave Ramsey, you don't have to buy something just because it's on sale. The best way to save money is to learn to say no to impulse purchases. But how can you make no a habit? Start by setting clear financial goals. When you have a clear purpose for your money, whether it's saving for a vacation, buying a home, or building an emergency fund, you'll be less tempted to make unnecessary purchases. A great strategy to help you say no is creating a budget. According to a 2019 survey by the National Endowment for Financial Education, people who follow a budget are 30% less likely to overspend. By tracking your income and expenses, you can make sure that every dollar is working towards your goals, not just going to things you don't really need. Another useful technique is the 30-day rule. If you see something you want to buy, wait 30 days before purchasing it. Often, after that waiting period, the desire to buy it fades away. This gives you time to reflect and ask yourself whether it's truly worth the money. When it comes to breaking free from overconsumption, mindset is key. Reflect on your values and what truly brings you happiness. Studies show that people who focus on experiences and personal growth rather than material possessions report greater long-term happiness. By developing a healthy relationship with no, you gain control over your purchases and make room for what truly matters. Saying no doesn't mean missing out, it means saying yes to a more intentional, fulfilling life. If you enjoyed these tips and want more strategies on living sustainably, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's make smarter, more mindful choices together.